My birthday party was supposed to be perfect. Friends, family, laughter, it had all the right pieces. But somewhere in the middle of the celebration, the laughter turned sharp, cruel, and directed at the one person who least deserved it. My husband. We all laughed, thinking it was harmless. But then he stood up, his face calm, his eyes steady, and picked up the microphone. What he said next froze the room. The truth he revealed wasn't just about him. It was about me, about us, about everything I thought was hidden. That night, my birthday stopped being a celebration and became the night everything changed. I had been looking forward to this birthday for weeks. Turning 30 wasn't just another candle on the cake. It felt like a milestone. A house full of friends, my closest family gathered around, balloons floating in the corners, and the soft hum of music in the background. I wanted it to be memorable, something that would remind everyone that I was surrounded by love and admiration. My husband, Aaron, had never been the life of the party. He was quiet, reserved, the type who blended into the background while I thrived in the spotlight. I often brushed off his silence as shyness, though sometimes it irritated me. I wanted him to be more charming, more vocal, the kind of partner who made others envious. When the first guests arrived, I was glowing with excitement. Aaron greeted them politely but stayed in the kitchen, making sure the drinks were ready, the food arranged. I barely noticed him slipping through the crowd like a shadow, ensuring everyone was comfortable. I thought of him as support, not centerpiece, and that night I wanted all eyes on me. As the party picked up, stories were told, drinks flowed, and laughter filled the air. It was the kind of atmosphere where small jokes quickly grew into louder ones, and soon the laughter turned toward Aaron. It started innocently enough. Someone commented on how quiet he was, how he hardly said a word. Another joked that he was the butler of the night, always refilling glasses and tidying up. I laughed too. At first, it felt harmless. But then the teasing grew sharper, bolder. Guests mimicked his quiet nature, exaggerated his reserved demeanor, and the room erupted with laughter. I joined in, smiling even as a flicker of discomfort flashed in Aaron's eyes. I told myself it was just fun, that he would understand. But what I failed to see was that every laugh chipped away at his dignity. As the night wore on, the jokes didn't stop. They escalated, fueled by alcohol and the easy cruelty of a crowd that feeds off itself. Someone joked that Aaron was too boring to even give a toast. Another said he probably didn't know how to dance. Each comment was met with roars of laughter, each one pulling the spotlight further from me and placing it on my husband, but not in the way I had wanted. I watched him, glass in hand, standing quietly at the edge of the room. He smiled politely, but it wasn't the smile I knew. It was strained, heavy, masking something deeper. And yet, I still didn't stop it. Inside, part of me felt embarrassed too. Embarrassed of his silence. Embarrassed that he didn't know how to defend himself with clever words or charm. Instead of protecting him, I let the room continue. In that moment, I chose their laughter over his dignity. It wasn't until someone shouted, "Come on, Aaron, say something. Prove you're more than just the background character tonight," that the room fell into a challenging hush. Everyone turned toward him, waiting. I half expected him to shrink further back, to let it pass. But then, something shifted. Aaron stepped forward, his face calm, his movements deliberate. He walked to the microphone set up near the cake, where music had been playing softly all night. He didn't rush. He didn't falter. He simply picked it up, held it in his hand, and looked out at the faces that had mocked him. The room, still buzzing with drunken giggles, began to quiet. And then he spoke. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried. There was weight in his tone, a gravity that silenced whispers and stilled laughter. "You've all spent the night laughing at me," he began. "At my quietness, my silence, my role in this marriage. You call it boring. You call it weak. But let me tell you what silence really holds." The room froze. I felt my stomach twist as he continued. "For years, I've watched my wife chase the spotlight, bask in admiration, and yet dismiss me as though I'm invisible. I've been the one supporting her, the one making sure she shines, the one cleaning up the messes she leaves behind. literally and figuratively. I've done it all quietly, not because I'm weak, but because I thought love meant sacrifice. The air grew heavy. No one dared to move. But tonight, he said, his eyes scanning the crowd, you've all laughed at me. And he pointed toward me, the person who promised to protect me, to stand by me, she laughed the loudest. Gasps rippled through the room. My face burned as every eye turned toward me. You want to know why I don't speak much? He asked. Because words are cheap. Anyone can fill a room with noise. But actions reveal who we truly are. And what I've realized tonight is that the woman I married, the woman I thought valued me, doesn't see me at all. The silence was suffocating. I wanted to speak, to defend myself, but the words caught in my throat. His pain was undeniable, raw, and laid bare for everyone to see. He set the microphone down, the sound of it clicking against the stand echoing louder than any laugh that had filled the room earlier. Without another word, he turned, walked toward the door, and left. The party was over. After he walked out, no one spoke. The music still hummed faintly in the background, the candles on the cake flickering quietly, but the laughter was gone. What remained was shame. Heavy, suffocating shame that pressed down on me harder than anything I had ever felt before. For days, I replayed his words in my head. His silence had been his strength all along, and I had mistaken it for weakness. His support had been his love, and I had taken it for granted. And when the moment came to defend him, to protect him from cruelty, I had joined the crowd instead. Betrayal doesn't always come from lies or infidelity. Sometimes it comes from the people who should have stood beside you but instead chose to laugh with everyone else. That night, I betrayed my husband. Not with another person but with my silence, and worse, with my laughter. The truth is, words can cut deeper than knives, and betrayal doesn't always wear a dramatic mask. Sometimes, it looks like a smile, a chuckle, a careless moment where you forget the person you vowed to love most. I don't know if Aaron will ever forgive me. I don't know if he should. But I do know this. I'll never again underestimate the power of silence, or the pain of laughter directed at the wrong person. So I ask you, if you were standing in that room, would you have laughed too? Or would you have had the courage to stop the crowd before it was too late? Because sometimes, the loudest truths are spoken only after the laughter dies.